Well, welcome everyone. This is David Morgan of themorganreport.com, and this is another talk with John Perez of Silver is Money Telegram channel. John, it's been a long time. Before we start, I'll give a little background. Just finished Silver Symposium 2 from Stock Pulse. Rob Goodman. Rob, thank you for hosting another very successful, in my opinion, Silver Symposium. And of course, I was the first speaker up on the dais at the beginning and just gave a brief introduction. And then the first thing I did was I ran a clip of the infamous John Perez talking about what we had done with the silver Psyop. And I think it was episode number 3, where you, more than I, but we both called the top in Bitcoin over 60,000 USD. And you were advocating more than I. You ought to move that into silver as money. And you had some feedback. So I put that clip up for everybody to see. So now I'm calling just to get an update kind of where you see the silver Psyop now. And before I let you speak, one more really important part is I did a brief study on, okay, well, is John right or wrong? I'm not disputing your numbers. I just want to see, well, what kind of effect would Bitcoin have on these precious metals? It was interesting because the total crypto market is about a $1 trillion market. And the gold market's about 11 trillion. So it's roughly 10 to 1. So if all that crypto money went into gold, 10% increase, yeah, it would have an effect, but not that substantial. However, Bitcoin alone is a $300 billion market. The silver market on an annual basis is 1 billion ounces times $20 an ounce is a $20 billion market. So you got like a 15-year amount of silver purchases in Bitcoin alone. So certainly could have far more impact into the silver world than it does. And, you gave some evidence of people that called you, and I have anecdotal evidence from more than one dealer that talked about, the silver mentality, highly speculative, risk-taking types that would come in with monster boxes in their pickup truck and unload 4. Buy Bitcoin at, $2,000 per coin, goes up to, 10, coming back, selling off their Bitcoin and repurchasing monster boxes and not getting out of the parking lot because their pickup truck can hold so much metal. So anyway, that's the basis. I was basically confirming for myself and the audience that, yes, it would have more of an impact on the silver market. John, over to you.
Well, I'll tell you, someone sent me a shot that you were playing the silver Psyop there. Thank you so much, and I'm glad a lot of people got to get exposed to it. It's kind of a shocker if you're a pure silver person. You're looking at stocks, you're looking at futures, pure commodities, the dollar, the bond market, and all of a sudden, this silver Psyop thing comes out of left field. When at the beginning of what I see is a very big bull market just getting started. And it filled in a lot of gaps. And to see that here, it's very hard for people to see this. But once they start to do a deep dive into it, it starts to make sense. And those numbers you just gave, I believe those numbers would have normally have gone into silver and gold as speculative investments. But the whole generation basically went into crypto. Mm-hmm. And so my premise on the whole silver Psyop was that the psychological operations of crypto, getting people ready, prepared for central bank digital coin, was to take people away from going into silver and gold. At the same time, we saw silver and gold go down. I went through the numbers. The Bitcoin 2008, we had Obama elected in there. That was also in the trial the same year, 2008, when the silver spoofing took off at JP Morgan, which is the trial is still on. We have one more decision coming up here on December 9th. We had the Bear Stearns situation come apart, 2008, 2009, big short position there. A lot of things came together there. And then, of course, the silver Psyop was silver down, Bitcoin up through that from 2008 to when it ended in 2016 when Trump was elected. Now we're still seeing silver suppression, but now what we're starting to see now is exactly what as I predicted, that Bitcoin is about ready to go off the cliff. In one of our interviews, I talked about JP Morgan putting a curse on Bitcoin. And I found that this was back in August 2021. JP Morgan offers in-house clients Bitcoin fund to wealthy clients. Imagine we got you into Bitcoin like right near the top. And then it was, I think at that time we did a couple of interviews in October, November. And it was next thing they were saying that JP Morgan says Bitcoin could rise to $146,000 long term as it competes with gold. It's interesting. This is CNBC as it competes with gold. And 3 weeks before this, what a bad call. This one, Michael Saylor, after I said in December, I said, you should sell Bitcoin. And you said it too, sell Bitcoin, take some off the top, $69,000. We topped at Bitcoin, 66,666. That's when we started our situation here. We were saying, get out and go into silver. And lo and behold, everyone was preaching Bitcoin's going to 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. And we got flack for that. Oh, this is BS. And that. And boy, that entire trade has now turned into a colossal crypto Bitcoin apocalypse. And now JP Morgan now has jumped on board with you and I and the silver Psyop. And this just came out. What's the date on this? The date on this is 3 days ago. 3 days ago. This is like, drum roll, please. JP Morgan advises investors to sell crypto and buy value stocks. Well, what's a value stock? I say buy an undervalued mining stock is a value stock at this stage of the game here in September 2022. Says the Fed overestimates the strength of the U.S. economy. Well, JP Morgan, after telling everyone it's going to 146,000, after telling their wealthy clients are going to put Bitcoin off for them, now they're saying sell it. And they have just confirmed everything we did in the silver Psyop came true. And then I said that it would be the same people who pumped Bitcoin will be the same people who destroy Bitcoin. And now here it is, policies catching up. I have a list. It's like a scroll, like those cartoon scrolls you open up and it just goes a Bugs Bunny scroll of all the things going wrong in crypto right now. All the scams. It's just like, it's endless. Anybody can see it now. And here it's stuck at 20,000, which I believe is a false price, just like the price of silver right now is sitting at 1777 this morning, which is shocking. That would be like buying gasoline at 65 cents right now in 1980. So we know silver, as Trump said, silver is the most undervalued asset in the world and has been known as money throughout all of human history, which David, more than anybody, that this is the truth. Now here we are. What's happening? Sailor's getting sued, JP Morgan selling crypto, and we're sitting here like in the catbird seat saying, I told you so. And now how many people, I lost count, how many people joined my Telegram? I sold at 62,000. I sold at 63,000. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's in the tens of millions of dollars of all the people that sold their crypto, sold their Bitcoin, and now they are hardcore silver investors. We've been buying 52-week lows in the mining sector for the last six months, 3 months, in the last 60 days, piling in May, June, and July. And here, right when we pile in, JP Morgan says sell crypto, buy Bitcoin. And then now that brings me to your number you just gave. That $300 billion in crypto money sitting there.
Bitcoin alone is coming out. It is going to be looking for a home. And in my opinion, silver mining stocks, exploration stocks are going to be the meme stocks for the fourth quarter and throughout all of 2023. That money is going to be looking for a home. And I predict they're going to be buying all my stock picks and your stock picks. Let me push back on you a little bit. My catbird seat is a little uncomfortable, and here's why. I'm not a gloater, believe me. The market's humbled me over all these years, but it does feel good to call the top and help a lot of people get out of that investment. However, as the great John Perez says, when Bitcoin dies, silver flies, and it puts you on the spot. I think in our last interview, well, what hits 30,000 first, and you were accurate on that. But, we see Bitcoin dying, but we're really not seeing silver flying. So, I've been getting some pushback, especially from my paid membership, my premium members, saying, come on, David, when is this thing going to go? And it's really difficult to look at the numbers and see the price. In other words, the COMEX has been drained. We're down to like 50 million ounces in the registered category. It was double that not that long ago. The retail price of silver is beyond compare at any other time in recent history as far as, 30, 25, 30, 40% premiums in some cases. There's been a bit of a slump in retail purchases. But, everything that looks favorable to silver is there, and yet the price is sitting under $18. So, John, I'm going to put some heat back on you, pushing back a bit. Tell me why.
Well, as during the silver Psyop, I talked about, people, we all know silver suppression occurs in manipulation. We see it. Now, it used to be conspiracy. Now it's truth. Everybody sees it. It's the 900-pound, 800-pound elephant in the room. And that suppression, as I said in the silver Psyop, they would never let gold or silver run while Bitcoin was running. And as Bitcoin goes down, they have paralleled it with it. And we're near the end. We are near the decoupling phase. So, to put this in perspective, silver in 1 year is down $27. So, to your point, absolutely right. In 6 months, silver is down 27% in 1 year, but it's down 29% in 6 months. So as Bitcoin's down over 50%, but silver's down too. So the question is, what's happening here? So I have a conspiracy on this one. I'm going to launch a conspiracy right now.
Okay.
My belief is that the same people that are controlling Bitcoin, as they liquidate, they're buying silver and gold, but they're the same people that are part of the suppression. As I said, this is a very large state-sponsored operation, psychological, economic operation here, getting people into crypto, getting them conditioned for the new central bank digital coin, which will be a surveillance and tracking device like Bitcoin, and then moving over, but making sure that they can't let silver go up until the right time. And that time is coming. We are going to have the keyword decoupling very soon is going to be that point where Bitcoin finally makes the big turn down, which is soon. When you see $14,000 Bitcoin, make sure you take a look at, and silver, make sure you look at the Bitcoin to silver ratio. You'll see the big shift, and it's coming soon. 14,000. I've had a bottle of Dom Perignon sitting inside the refrigerator that I told everyone I'll open up when it hits 14,000. I said that in May, and it's like, Bitcoin made its move back up. But to me, it was a sucker's rally. To me, it's a bear market rally. It's going to go down because there's been so much policy, so much regulation coming against crypto. And it's like, how is crypto and Bitcoin still holding up? JP Morgan says sell crypto, and Bitcoin went down $2,000. It's still holding above 20, which is that final number. 20,000 is the Maginot line. Once we see it break 20, then down to 19, it's going to move. But as I said in the silver Psyop, the same people that manipulated, remember, Jamie Dimon was Jeffrey Epstein's banker. Epstein, Bitcoin, we showed that in Graph Commons, clear. Well, what are the odds? And that was the crux where silver and Bitcoin met, right? That's the meeting place right there. You got JP Morgan, giant silver guy, and you've got Epstein over here, Bitcoin. Now we've gone through the entire cycle now. Now we're ready to let silver fly. Doing pretty good today. And Bitcoin's going to die. But when is going to happen? I think it's going to happen between now and Halloween. So which is today, September 2nd. Now and Halloween here. We had silver yesterday at 1762. Come on. 1776 here. It's like a revolution. It's like 1776 silver. It's like I'm waiting for Yankee Doodle to go. And I have a conspiracy on this. People say, why is silver down for so long? I said, the truth is, in my opinion, you don't have to agree with me. There's no press release on this. I'll tell you, I believe that the people that are suppressing silver, they're actually the good guys now. Why? Because we need as many Americans as possible. We need every American in the United States to hold at least 10 ounces of silver. And if you're in silver gold stocks, I want everyone to hold 1,000 ounces minimum physical at home in their control here. And we all know, I'm watching, I said, that decoupling is coming here. But I believe that this move, JP Morgan announced the sale 3 days ago. I believe this is already happening. And the reason why the price of Bitcoin is sitting there is because, they're printing Tether. They're still printing Tether and keeping that price up. And I don't believe that price one bit. Just like if you don't believe the price of silver is where it's at. I don't. I think the silver is much more expensive than it shoots for right now. But this is what we see, and this is the reality we have to deal with. Meanwhile, my attitude is steal it. They're suppressing it. Because the Fed is stuck between a rock and a hard place. If they let gold go, I mean, they got big problems. If they knock gold down, what China bought 80 tons of gold in July. 80 tons of gold. Silver's down to 1,700, and China buys 80 tons of gold.
And India is buying silver like crazy again.
Yeah, and then if you've got Qatar bought 14.8 tons of gold in July, and here gold and silver going down. Vladimir Putin, China, bin Salman, they have the Federal Reserve cornered, because if you knock down gold, which how they're doing, they're buying it up as they're dumping their dollar. De-dollarization is continuing at a rapid pace. The BRICS are moving to gold and silver. 80 tons of gold announced that's so much gold, not even in the news. Qatar,
let me jump in there, John. You made a lot of very important comments. I want to go back a little bit. And the second half of my speech was about bail-ins. And I'm going to be brief because I have a different question. Let's give this background. I said the best way, and people that follow my work, your work, know this, but bail-ins are in the record. It's at law. It's in the United States. It's in the UK. And thank you. I'll give you credit here that you gave me that article from the gentleman from the UK that talked about bail-ins. And it refreshed my memory, not that I'd forget, but it was a good time to re-emphasize how important this is. And the best way to get money out of the bank is to move it from digital currency, into precious metals. It's really difficult to go up to your local teller that you may have known for years and say, hey, I've got 35,000 in the bank and I want 32,000 in cash. They'll laugh at you. It's not going to happen. But if you write a check to XYZ coin dealer or wire it, there's not much they can do about it. So you're moving from their fictional digital representation of something into real money. So I want to just leave it there. We can come back and visit bail-ins on another interview. What I want to back up to is what you said about, the Americans only 10 ounces each. So quite some time ago, one of my most viral videos, not counting Stansberry, which was off the charts, but one of the more viral videos prior to that was myths in the silver market. And the myth in the silver market is, and I'm older than you, but you've been around a while, that all these dealers will tell you the same thing. Well, the hard money people, everyone should own a little, which implies that all of us that have any savings at all should own a little bit of gold and silver. If you can't afford gold, you should at least own a little bit of silver. So that, and that's very conservative. It's not like, oh, don't be in the stock market, don't be in real estate, don't have a bank account, just own a little bit. All right. So in that myth in the silver market, so how much is a little? That's a nebulous number. So I use the amount of 2 ounces. 2 ounces of silver, John. Okay, and you just said 10. So 2 ounces of silver at that time for United States only would represent the entire annual supply of silver. So I said, well, not everyone can. If you look at everyone as the world, and the U.S. is only 5% of the world's population. And 2 ounces is not going to change your life. Silver at $100 an ounce, 2 ounces. Silver at $600 an ounce, 2 ounces. Yeah, it might make a difference. You might be able to eat out at a restaurant and get all the groceries you want for a couple of months, but it's not really going to change your life. So the end of it is, it's a lie. Not everyone can and not everyone will own a little bit of silver. So going back to your 10 ounces or whatever number you want to use, I want people to understand it's scarce. The price does not reflect the scarcity of silver. So you can take that any direction you want. It just caught my attention when you said it. It was just such common sense, but it's really overlooked. And one of my, let's say, largest fans who's no longer with us, he loved that video. He wanted that thing to be like required reading at every, seventh grader to have to see that, whatever it is, 5-10 minute video. I forget. So anyway, back to you.
Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, I used to think 4 ounces, but now I'm, I have in my silver is money in the stock club part, I tell everyone your goal is you got to get to 1,000 ounces, physical ounces, like That's first base. That's going to make you what I would call the beginning of being a silver lord. Because if we hit $1,200 silver, which I expect to hit $1,200. Now there are people calling for higher numbers, but I'm expecting 1,200. I tell people, look, we hit $1,200. You got 1,000 ounces of silver. That's 1.2 million. And that's physical. You buy it, you forget it. Don't look at the price. Buy it, bury it, forget it. Okay. And then the requirement, you cannot join the Silver Gold Stock Club unless you have physical silver at home. Now, everyone else, I'm telling everyone, look, get your kids, give away gifts silver for people come out there in, Christmas, holidays, getting silver in people's hands. If it came out, if a leader came out, no leader will even mention the word silver. Vladimir Putin will never miss. None of these guys would dare. First of all, they can't. It would destabilize the world. This is proof of the power of silver.
The Achilles heel of the financial system. Sorry, John.
No, that's right. They will. No one. I dare any leader of this world. I dare you. I dare you. Just mention the word silver. Spell it out. SILVER. So I dare you. Say silver. I dare you. Double dog dare you. Leading a country and you can't even. These guys would stutter. They would stutter. Silver. If everyone. By the way, touching on the 10 ounces of silver by every American, I think every American should have 10 ounces of minimum. In my group, 1,000 ounces physical silver, 1,000 ounces of physical. Bury it. Because people always say, well, John, you like mining stocks. Of course I do. But I said, but I was a physical seller. I worked and I sold millions of dollars of physical silver before I got in the stock market. And I've learned a long time ago, you want that physical first, because that's your foundation. Mushroom cloud shows up on Wall Street. Well, I lost everything in the stock market. Well, your silver doubled overnight too. So, that's just the way the market goes. But if there's a big factor coming in the future, I've not talked about this. And I believe that once gold passes the 2,300, 2,500 mark, silver will be the new gold in India. 1.8, 1.7, 1.3 billion people, they are going to go long silver in India. And just like there's going to be that ocean of people moving into silver, same thing in China. We have all this Bitcoin and crypto money that's going to be selling on JP Morgan sell. They're going to sell. You're going to have all this lost money out there. We're going to have all this Indian money. Gold's going to be overpriced here. We've got 52-week lows, and all the miners, actually, they're all off their 52-week lows now. And a lot of these positions are in the money already. We've got people leaving crypto. We've got the CBDC coming out. I personally believe there's going to be a gold-backed yuan announced close to, on, or during, or after the invasion of China into Taiwan. That's where that 80 tons of gold is going. There's going to be a gold-backed yuan. There's going to be a gold-backed yuan that is coming here. But to your point about the scarcity of silver, no leader will ever mention the word silver. There must be some sort of silent, invisible contract that we'll put on your head. If you say silver in public here, we're going to boycott your country here. Yeah. All it would take is for Vladimir Putin to say, I like silver, like we like gold. And it'll be over. The Federal Reserve will roll over. And, as the Q said, gold destroys the Fed. And as Perez says, silver buries the banks. I personally believe at the end of the silver Psyop, all the silver, JP Morgan's going to be broken up. They're not going to be around. They will cease to exist in their current form. I believe the silver at JP Morgan is already in control of the U.S. Treasury. I believe they've already seized it. That'll be a future story here. But to your point about the scarcity of silver, not a single leader will go out there. But look, I was at a coin store yesterday, and we went under $18. I'm like, run down to my local coin store here. I was talking to the proprietor there I've worked with for years. And I said, man, you got all this new silver in the markets here. 6 months ago, there was no silver. Now you got all the silver. It was a sad story, but it's true. And she said, you know what? She goes, so many people bought silver at 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. We had some people here that bought, during that big Silver 8 movement. And they feel like they're losing all their money and they're capitulating. And they as soon as it broke $20, they're selling their silver under 20. I'm like, oh my gosh. Of course, I'm in there like, buying. I get, yeah, I'm soon get under 20, get now. Under 19, get it now. Under 18, get it now. Under 18 yesterday, I was telling them physical Friday, which is usually today, it was physical Thursday. The silver is up today, but there are people out there, which is really sad. They're selling low. They're getting out. And it's capitulation. As you know, David, this is the way these markets work. It is a psychological operation. This is the end of the silver Psyop. So the people that had crypto and Bitcoin, they're moving into gold and silver, and they're going to buy these dips. And I personally believe that the suppression going on in silver is actually an open door, a velvet rope for the people that have liquidated their crypto now moving into silver. And we're going to see a move here very, very soon. And it's going to be sometime between here and Halloween, like it normally does. But you can see it silver. You've been in long enough to know this is usually the season. But it's just kind of sitting there like nothing's happening. What's going on here? And I tell people, sit back, quiet before the storm, get ready. Everyone sit back, get ready. You see all these lows here, not normal. Kids are going back to school. Once you see those school buses running, which will be over the next 2 weeks, you're going to see this thing start to move here. And starting, I think, right after Labor Day, we'll get some good actions here. And these 52-week lows, 1776 silver. Compared to 19, this would be 65. We should be at the gas station buying 65-cent gasoline right now if gasoline was mimicking what silver is doing right now.
Right, John, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. I could listen to you all day. You know that. Just one more comment or so, and that is, first of all, thank you for all you've done. And secondly, your insights, although I don't agree with maybe your paper price, I have to confess that in a fiat fiasco failure, paper price doesn't matter. It could be Zimbabwe. It could be $10 trillion an ounce. I mean, I don't think we're going to go the Zimbabwe route. I think there'll be a reset before that. So not pushing back on your price. I think I want to say this and give you an exit here. You said 10 ounces, and I jogged my memory. And so how much makes a difference? And here's my take on it, John. 100 ounces. Why 100 ounces? Now, 1,000, I'm with you, man. 1,000, I'm not saying, 1,000 is better than 100. But the reason I chose 100 is that in the real world, in the old days, which is like my dad's days, $1 a day was a blue-collar worker's wage. So a dollar is 0.77 troy ounces. Most people don't know that because the Treasury doesn't know what a dollar is anymore. They print 1 troy ounce and they stamp $1 on it. That's wrong. A dollar is 371.25 grains of 999 fine silver, and that's about 0.77 ounces. So, you go into court and say, which of these dollars is a dollar? It's one of the ways this is. I'm off track, but here's my point. 100 ounces represents 100 days, which is 3 months worth of living expenses. And that's if, it's a big if maybe, silver reestablishes what it held as value in my dad's era, and that's not that long ago. And so that's, you brought that to my attention. So John, tell us where we can find John Perez on your Telegram channel. And you're back on Twitter. They unblocked you, I think.
Yeah. I sent Elon Musk like 10 messages, like release me from the gulag. I'm in the Twitter gulag, and I sent message after message. And then lo and behold, I went to go sign up on the 10th one. And sure enough, boom, I was back on Twitter. And believe me, that I broke all the rules that the deep state doesn't like you tweeting on Twitter. It's like, okay, well, you tell too much truth and they blow you off Twitter. Well, I told a lot of truth on there. And so I'm back on Twitter, and it's been great. I have been really active on Twitter again. My main feed is on Telegram, which I love Telegram. It is uncensored and unafraid, and it's the wild, wild west, and I love it there. It's no holes barred. Anything goes. Music, rock and roll, silver, gold, commentary, and we let the words fly there and have a good time. It's really popular. It's been great. And I'm on Silver is Money on Telegram, and then my archive shows are Silver is Money News. And then this has turned into a big silver and gold stock mining club now too, which has grown by the hundreds. So we probably raised close to 30-40 million dollars in our Telegram club, which has just been astonishing. And it's 100% all mining stocks, mining companies. So we're doing all the work, going over companies, going over the news services, going over the details, all our research, and we're all getting ready for the big bull market. It's a big party here, and you got a big fan base in there too, David. You got a big fan base in there, which is really, really cool. So I'm on Telegram, Silver is Money, and then we are Silver Gold Stock Club, which is separate. That's a different paid membership there, and it's going gangbusters, right? It's unbelievable. The growth has been out of this world here, and so now we finally got some new mining companies contacting us that want to get on board and work with us. So really, really excited here. So I think this is as you know, in the industry, right before the bull market happens, in fact, this is a question I need to ask you, Dave, before we cut me off here. You gave a number once, and I forgot exactly how you phrase it, about what percentage of investors make a percentage of all the money in the beginning of a bull market. I think you said like 10% make 20 or 50% of all the money. They're the first ones that come in the market. You gave a number. I forgot how he phrased it there. Do you remember something along those lines?
No, it's a little fuzzy, but all markets move at the margin. So, 10% allocation from what's in Bitcoin in the silver would have monumental effect on the market, because the silver market is so small and the Bitcoin market relative to the silver market is 15 times bigger. It's only less than 1/10 of the gold market. And to put it in maybe different parlance and make it maybe easier, but the gold market is less than 1% of the financial assets on the planet. And the silver market is 0.02%. So think about it. To go from 0.02% to 0.04% of the financial assets.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it is going to be, like I tell people, that there's going to come a point in time. I said, it's going to be like in Spain. It's going to be the running of the bulls. And once they start to go, it's going to be, I was going to tell, just go sit on the fence. Just sit on the fence and watch them go by and watch those guys out there get gored. We are going to sit on the fence. We're all in. We really are all in. We came in on these bottom lows, 52-week lows, and all these beautiful, beautiful companies here, loading up everyone. I said, if we break 20, it's like it's time. And everyone went all in here. And it was because we knew we were 26% negative from a year ago in silver. What more do you want? I mean, and look at every other day, it seems like Biden is sending like 30, 40, $70 billion to Ukraine, just diluting. I'm like, and silver's going down. Come on. It's like, this is like a steal. This is like the hand of God is giving you silver at under $20 an ounce. It's a gift. Thank God for manipulation, suppression. I had so many people join the Silver Gold Stock Club in July and August that I was like, oh, please do not let silver go up. Do not let silver go up. I don't want to chase a market. I don't want to chase the market. I want to chase the bulls. And they held it down. And I was like, yes. I said, I want everyone done by August 31st. It came in. I said, now the action's going to go here. We got Israel just ordered, I think, 4 refueling tankers today. We're going to see probably an attack on Iran here very soon. We got the Iran deal. We've got China moving into Taiwan. We've got a Russian nuclear false flag practically in Ukraine. Every silver should be going up $1, $2, $3 a day. It's going down. I'm like, keep getting it. As long as these guys are doing it, just take it, because what's happening in the real world is not reflecting in the world of silver, and that's a dangerous it's a dangerous situation, but a chance of a lifetime, once in a lifetime opportunity.